Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Penny, and I'm a student at the well-known academy named after a fruit in Paldea. I'm using my PNGtuber for this video because my dorm room is kind of messy right now. There's a bunch of anime that I missed that I just binge-watched for a few weeks straight while working on this big coding project, so there's like cardboard boxes and instant food packaging everywhere. Like worse than usual, I mean. And Eevee fur all over everything, but that doesn't really show up on camera. If you hear any skittering or Pokemon cries in the background, that's my Eevees. They stay out of their Pokeballs like all the time. Being surrounded by my Eevees and my figurines is just my kind of heaven. Like, it doesn't get any better than chilling in my room with my Eevees. So, speaking of which, today I'll be ranking Eeveelutions. And if you disagree with my rankings, just let me know in the comments. I'm always down to talk Eevees, and I could, use the engagement. Anyway, I'm gonna start at the bottom of the ranking, and then work my way up to my favorite. And if you're listening, Eevees, I love all of you equally. This is specifically about the Eeveelutions in general, and not you guys as individual Pokemon. Okay, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So, the Eeveelution that I have ranked the lowest is Glaceon. Cuddle ability is one of the most important features of a Eevee for me, and Glaceon is just not good to cuddle. They're so cold, obviously, as Ice-type Pokemon, and you would think that that would be a good thing for cuddling, like when it's hot out in the summer. You would think, but here's some information from the Pokédex. It freezes its fur into icicles, spiky and sharp, and tackles its prey. So instead of nice, fluffy, soft, cool fur, you would be cuddling pointy icicles. Also, quote, it causes small ice crystals to form by lowering the temperature of the surrounding atmosphere. And this is problematic if you, like me, have a sweet gamer setup that is prone to water damage. Because the water molecules in the air around them start to condense, and that, absolutely wrecks anything that needs to stay dry. Another issue with this is that the condensation means that Glaceon constantly smell like wet rock ruff, which is not great. Also, I think I would like them more if it was a little more visually obvious that Glaceon is an Ice-type Pokemon. Because, if you imagine for a moment Glaceon in Grayscale, it would look more like a Steel-type Pokemon. It kind of just has the diamond shape. So, the other Eeveelutions are just more visually striking in a way that really shows off their type. And so, for that reason, Glaceon is D tier for me. Next up at C tier is Espeon. So I have some of the same visual issues with Espeon as I have with Glaceon. If they had more features that really exemplified their type, I might rank them differently. So my main issue, again for me personally with Espeon, is actually that they tend to be so anxious. So again, a quote from the Pokédex. Its fur is so sensitive, it can feel minute shifts in the air and predict the weather, and its foes' thoughts. So that's super impressive, obviously, and great for Pokemon battling, but for day-to-day companionship, it gets a little intense. So they're sensing your every movement and thought and reacting to it, and the whole thing just kind of stresses me out. You know when you get an emotional support Pokemon, but then it has the same mental illnesses as you, so you just kind of make each other worse? That's me and Espeon, so got a little personal there, but yeah, that's why I ranked Espeon as C tier. So first up for the B tier, we've got Flareon. Flareon is so fluffy, which is great. And a fun Pokédex fact, Flareon's fluffy fur has a functional purpose. It releases heat into the air so that its body does not get excessively hot. This Pokemon's body temperature can rise to a maximum of 1,650 degrees Fahrenheit. So for us reasonable people, that's like nearly 900 degrees Celsius. Obviously super duper hot. So you do have to be really careful when you pet your Flareon. I recommend check their temperature by hovering the back of your hand near them, and also hope that they don't headbutt you for pets when they're burning hot, and kind of use that to gauge what their temperature is at before you go in for some head scritches. Another fact to keep in mind about Flareon is when it catches prey or finds berries, it breathes fire on them until they're well done, and then it gobbles them up. So if you don't want your home to smell like burnt berries, maybe consider a different evolution. Alright, so next up is another stone evolution of Eevee, Jolteon. Jolteon is also very fluffy, like Flareon, but in a way pointier way. They are also one of the noisier evolutions, which I do appreciate. I like when my VVs are talkative. You probably have heard them in the background already. Quote, its lungs contain an organ that creates electricity. The crackling sound of electricity can be heard when it exhales. So instead of fire breath like Flareon, Jolteon has crackly electricity breath, which is actually really like soothing to me. I tried to record the sounds so that you could hear, but my VV kind of fried the mic, which is another risk that you do take with Jolteon. Another fun fact about them is a sensitive Pokemon that easily becomes sad or angry. Every time its mood changes, it charges power. So Jolteon are literally powered by mood swings, which, big mood. Literally. So for relatability reasons and their fluffiness, but also the extensive property damage, I rank Jolteon as a B tier evolution. The next VV that I've ranked B tier is Vaporeon. So some more information here from the Pokédex for ya. Clean, clear waters are its usual habitat. When it's about to be attacked by an invading enemy, it dives into the water to hide. So Vaporeon are great at hiding. You've probably heard that their cells are so similar to water molecules that they can kind of melt right into the water and hide. But basically that does mean that it will jump scare you. Prepare yourself for that. If you evolve your Eevee into Vaporeon, it's just gonna happen. Another cool thing about Vaporeon is that, quote, when Vaporeon's fins begin to vibrate, it's a sign that rain will come within a few hours. So this is super awesome, and I really appreciate my Vaporeon's meteorological skills. I'm actually originally from Galar, and it gets really rainy all the time there. So I always check with my Vaporeon before I get dressed for the day. Here in Paldea, the rain is not so bad, but it's still really helpful to have, a weather VV. I also love Vaporeon's beautiful tail. Some people say that mermaid myths were started by Vaporeon's tail, and I can totally see it. It's just so graceful and pretty. And it's also, where my Vaporeon really likes to get scritches, is, on the tail. So yeah, for these reasons, I've ranked Vaporeon at B tier. So the next VV I'm ranking is at A tier, and it's Umbreon. Umbreon's glowing rings are so, gamer aesthetic, and, if you can match your keyboard lighting to your VV, that's a great evolution in my book. Another gamer aesthetic aspect of Umbreon is that they are nocturnal. So the Pokédex says it is most active in the wee hours of the night when moonlight bathes the land. Its large eyes can pierce the darkness and perceive prey with absolute clarity. So if you like to keep your room dim like me, Umbreon is a great Eevee for you. They will have no problems hanging out in the dark, and their glowing rings keep you from accidentally tripping over them like some other Eevees. Anyway, the one thing keeping Umbreon from being S tier, in my opinion, is that, quote, when this Pokemon becomes angry, its pores secrete a poisonous sweat, which it sprays at its opponent's eyes. Yeah, so that hasn't been like a huge issue with my Umbreon. Thankfully, I do wear glasses, but you definitely need to be careful about that. So yeah, Umbreon is a gorgeous Eevee, and they fit well with my lifestyle, so that's why the Umbreon are A tier to me. So also at A tier is Leafeon. Leafeon's leaves are so pretty, and they smell great. A Pokédex fun fact: Galarians favor the distinctive aroma that drifts from this Pokemon's leaves. There is a popular perfume made using that scent. So, not sponsored or anything, like, I wish, but I actually do personally use that perfume because it's so nice and not, like, overpowering or anything. Some more information about Leafeon scent is, quote, the younger they are, the more they smell like fresh grass. With age, their fragrance takes on the odor of fallen leaves. So my Leafeon is still more at the fresh grass stage than the fallen leaf stage because it's still fairly young, but I really look forward to growing older together with my sweet, sweet Eevee. So not only do Leafeon make your living space smell good, but they actually filter the air. Quote, when you see Leafeon asleep in a patch of sunshine, you'll know it is using photosynthesis to produce clean air. So when they're being so super cute, napping in a sunbeam, they're actually also purifying the air, which is so nice, especially if you live in a small dorm room like me. And that's why Leafeon is A tier in my book. And now the long-awaited S tier. S is for Sylveon, of course. As a companion Pokemon, Sylveon is fantastic. So they're actually called the intertwining Pokemon because, quote, Sylveon affectionately wraps its ribbon-like feelers around its trainer's arm as they walk together. So if you want a Eevee that you can walk arm and ribbon with, choose Sylveon. Another Pokédex fact is, quote, by releasing Enmity erasing waves from its ribbon-like feelers, Sylveon stops any conflict. So Sylveon can really help you relax and keep your environment chill, which I know I need sometimes. And if you're into Pokemon battling, quote, Sylveon cuts an elegant figure as it dances lightly around, feelers fluttering, but its piercing moves aim straight for its opponent's weak spots. And that's direct from the Pokédex. Sylveon is totally the full package, pretty powerful, and precise in battle. So here in Paldea, you can actually give Sylveon even more cuteness and ribbons by terastallizing them, and I love letting my Eevee shine and become its sweetest, strongest self with my Terra Orb. Just seeing that heart-shaped gem on my sweet little Eevee's head with the extra pink ribbon is just so cute. And it's like honestly my favorite part of battling. Now, we can't have a Eevee ranking without the OG Eevee, Eevee. Without Eevee, we wouldn't have all the great Eeveelutions that I've ranked in this video. I have baby pictures of all of my Eevees as Eevee, and I think they're just so cute. Eevee is the smallest and, by some measures, the fluffiest, which is S tier cuteness for me. And also, Scientifically, Eevee is also really important. The Pokédex says it can evolve into a variety of forms. Eevee's genes are the key to solving the mysteries of Pokemon evolution. So, researching Eevee can teach us a lot about all Pokemon. They can evolve into so many incredible forms, and maybe there are even more Eevees out there that we just haven't learned about yet. I sure hope so. So if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. Again, if you disagree with my VV rankings, let me know in the comments. I don't mind talking to people so much when it's online. Hasta la vista! Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Penny, and I'm a student at the well-known academy named after a fruit in Paldea. I'm using my PNGtuber for this video because my dorm room is kind of messy right now. There's a bunch of anime that I missed that I just binge-watched for a few weeks straight while working on this big coding project, so there's like cardboard boxes and instant food packaging everywhere. Like worse than usual, I mean. And Eevee fur all over everything, but that doesn't really show up on camera. If you hear any skittering or Pokemon cries in the background, that's my Eevees. They stay out of their Pokeballs like all the time. Being surrounded by my Eevees and my figurines is just my kind of heaven. Like, it doesn't get